Okay, before we get started, I just want to apologize and say sorry in advance. I will try to say these names properly, but I can't guarantee it.
It's fine. You got me.
Okay. All right. Well, the day one of our article starts out by saying, 全羽凡 is a soldier in the Huainan Army.
Okay.
How did I do?
You did well.
Okay.
Very good job. 今天的主人公是淳于芬，他是一名士兵 ，so we know he's a soldier and works in an army， 在军队里。
That's right. Okay, well, let's find out about this person. I'm not going to try to say his name again right now, maybe later. Here it says, one day, he drinks too much and acts badly.
Can be good if you drink too much water, not water. 我们喝太多水应该没什么不好 but we're not talking about drinking too much water, right?
No, that's right. We're talking about drinking alcohol, which is spelled A-L-C-O-H-O-L, alcohol. And this is drinks like wine and beer. And what happens when you drink too much of these is you get drunk, D-R-U-N-K, drunk. And that's an adjective. Now, when you're drunk, you're unable to control what you do, your actions, how you think, how you talk, because you drink too much alcohol.
If you drink too much, you are drunk. 就是喝醉当形容词。所以啊，这样子这位于芬大哥他喝了太多 and acts badly. 喝醉通常你就不会表现得太得体啦。So be careful when you drink, especially don't drink and drive.
Never. Very important, Winnie. Thank you for saying that. All right, well, let's find out what happens after he does this. It says his general gets angry and fires him.
See, things won't go well if you drink too much. His general fires him. 把他炒鱿鱼了 and we're talking about his general.
His general is the person who's in charge of him. So this word is spelled G-E-N-E-R-A-L, general. It's a noun, and we're going to find out more about it right now. A general is an officer in the army or in the Air Force. Generals have a really high rank, which means they've probably been in the army for a while and they've worked their way up to a higher command. They're usually in charge of other soldiers lower than them in the army. Here's an example. The general of the army died and the country lost the war. The general of the army died and the country lost the war.
General 在这里是当名词的用法，就是指将军。一般位阶的士兵，像这个淳于芬今天的主角，他是一个 soldier。再高一层呢，我们可以叫他 officer。那当然，这个背上很多星星的这种呢，我们叫做 general。位高权重呢，才可以叫做将军。然后他可以掌控整个国家的命运。像例句呢，就是将军过世了，结果呢，整个国家、整个军队也输了这一场战争。
Okay, so we learned that Chuan Yu's general fired him. That doesn't mean he set him on fire, though.
No, 没有啦 ，fire 在这里不是真的指火啦，这里是动词的用法。在中文呢，其实我们也会说，会像刚刚讲到是炒鱿鱼 ，he's fired， 就是像这个流星雨中，我们会说，他是不是被火了？其实也是从英文 fire 这个字直接翻译过来的啦。So now he's fired. What is he going to do?
Well, I don't know if it's very good, but here it says, Chuan Yu goes home and sits by a pagoda tree in the yard. So far, it seems okay. Yeah, but we do need to learn what yard means before we find out what else he does. And yard here is a noun. It's spelled Y-A-R-D, yard. And let's find out what it means. A yard is the grassy area around a person's house. In the US and Canada, many houses have their own yards, sometimes both in the front and the back of the house. Now, yards in the US and Canada are used for playing, growing gardens, and having barbecues outside in the summer. One important thing to remember is that in the UK, a yard is called a garden. All right, here's an example sentence. The mother stood at the window and watched her children playing in the yard. The mother stood at the window and watched her children playing in the yard.
Yummy barbecues. Yard 呢是指家里的这个庭院，像 Aaron 老师刚刚有跟我们说，在电影啊，我们可能会看到欧美的国家就会在这个家里庭院前面，我们可以说 a front yard。然后刚刚也有提到，在英国呢是叫 garden， 是像有点花园的感觉。不过台湾比较多的可能是像 balcony，right in Taiwan balcony 这种阳台这样的意思。那我们看到例句呢是妈妈站在这个窗边看孩子们在庭院玩。所以啊，故事回到这个说到纯瑜呢，他被炒鱿鱼，然后呢回家呢就坐在这个槐树 a pagoda tree。And then an apple falling down and hit his head?
Wrong story, I think. Yeah, that's a little bit farther down the road, I think. All right, well, he's sitting under this pagoda tree in the yard. Let's find out what he's up to next. Here it says, he drinks with two friends until he falls asleep.
He was fired because of drinking too much, and he drinks more now. Bad idea. 他又借酒浇愁，结果呢就睡着了。It's probably better than what happened last time. At least he's falling asleep.
And not acting badly, you're right. Well, I guess, he doesn't have a job anymore, so he's just gonna go home and drink. Maybe he should try to find a new job, but here it says, later, Chunyu wakes up and sees two messengers. Okay, so this phrase, wake up, is one of our word power words, and it's two words, so we spell wake, W-A-K-E, wake, and up, U-P, up, wake up, and we're going to find out what it means now. When you wake up, you stop sleeping. You can also wake somebody else up. That means you make that person stop sleeping. Now, I like to wake up at 7 a.m. during the week and 9 a.m. on the weekend. I like to sleep in a little bit. All right, here's an example sentence. Rachel hates having to wake up and get out of bed on cold winter days. Rachel hates having to wake up and get out of bed on cold winter days.
I hate that too.
Everybody does.
Wake up 呢，通常会一起连用，表示醒来。Wake 本身呢，这个动词呢，要特别注意它的三态是 wake, woke, waken。那 wake up 呢是醒来，我们可以说起床呢，也可以用这个 get up。像例句也可以说 get up on cold winter days。在这个寒冷的冬天里面，要起床真的是很痛苦的。但呢，我们也可以用这个片语呢来叫别人起床 ，wake somebody up。比方说 My dad wakes me up on school days。在上学的日子呢，都是爸爸叫我起床的。
It's hard to wake up sometimes.
No, every day.
All right, well, what does Chunyu see when he wakes up?
He sees two messengers. 这里我们看到 er 结尾就知道是个人。前面呢 message 是指这个传讯或者讯息，可以当动词和名词的意思。加上 er 呢表示做这件事的人、传讯的人，或者是这个传话的人，就是使者啦。What message are they delivering?
Good question. Messengers always have a message to give someone. All right, here's what it says. They tell him the king of Huai'an sent us.
原来是这个淮安国的国王派他们来的。And why does the king want him?
Well, not really sure yet. The messengers continue, or one of the messengers continues by saying, he invites you to visit.
Ooh.
Okay, now this seems like a fun thing to happen. We use the verb invite here. It's spelled I-N-V-I-T-E, invite, and we're going to find out what it means. When you invite somebody to something, usually, you ask them to come to a place or to do something with you or to go to an event. Now, we often invite people to parties, which means we ask them to come to a party. We can invite people over for dinner and out on a date too. These are all things that you can invite people to. Now, here's an example sentence. Yvonne invited all of her friends to her birthday party. Yvonne invited all of her friends to her birthday party.
Invite 这个动词表示邀请，通常我们会说 invite somebody to do something， 邀请某人来做某件事情。像文章是 invite you to visit， 就是邀请你来玩。也可以说 invite somebody to something， 邀请某人呢去某个活动，或者是像我们在例句看到 invite her friends to her birthday party， 邀请朋友来这个生日派对，或者很常见也可以说 invite us to the wedding， 邀请我们去婚礼等等的。So the king invites him. I guess even though I still have lots of questions, Chen Yu still goes, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's from the king.
If a king invited you somewhere, would you say no?
I would not
Probably
dare to.
not, no. All right, well, let's find out what happens. It says, Chuan Yu follows the messengers to the pagoda tree.
To the tree? And there's a plane waiting? 要搭飞机吗？
I don't know if planes were around back then.
No.
Well, let's find out what is so special about this tree. Here it says, the tree is hollow and they enter.
OK， 他们走到这个树中间，然后想说这个中间要怎么进去呢？ The tree is hollow， 中间是中空的。And they arrive at Huai'an?
Yeah. Yeah, now usually when you see a hollow tree in real life, it's because like a squirrel lives inside it or something.
Okay.
It's just like a dead tree, but usually you can't enter, but in this story you can.
And they are at Huai'an.
Yeah, they're at Huai'an, and here it says Huai'an is beautiful.
大家一定很好奇，树的中间有个国家，那这个国家会长得怎么样呢？ It's beautiful. And what is it like if it's in the middle of the trees?
Well, because it's a story, I think once they get into the tree, it's not really a tree
It's like
anymore.
another world.
Right, kind of like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the Narnia stories like that. So they're in another world now. And here it says, it looks nothing like Chuan Yu's world.
谜底揭晓啦，完全不像淳于的世界。So it must be super beautiful. And the messengers take him to see the king?
That's right. Here's what happens. When Chuan Yu meets the king says, I want you to marry my daughter.
Wow, that's like a jackpot.
Yeah.
像中了头奖哎！首先你被炒鱿鱼，结果嘞你被一个国家的国王邀请你去玩，然后说我要嫁女儿给你。And he'll be rich and famous.
Probably, yeah.
所以他就变成这个国王的女婿、公主的丈夫，也就是这个国家的驸马爷耶。Did he say yes?
Of course, Winnie, I'm not going to tell you that answer today. That's because it's time to go to our magic box, and then we'll be right back for review time.
All right.
You'll have to find out what happens next day.
All right.